You sometimes mention you are at university. When I was at uni, maybe in 89, 92, wow, I was sex, drugs, and rock and rolling it. Do you get time for that, or is your passion for gaming and your channel keeping you too busy to indulge in all that silly nonsense? By the way, I wish I was at uni now. I would be on my PS4 all day. So much time to play. So I was at university. I left uni in 2013, 2014. So it's been a few years since I've been at uni. But I was. I didn't really sex, drugs, and rock and roll it up because I went to uni when I was in my 20s. And I'd kind of done some of that beforehand, and one of my main tenets for going to uni was that I didn't do that. And as boring as that sounds, I'm kind of an all or nothing kind of guy, you know. Like when I don't go drinking that often, but when I do, I want to drink the full fucking bar, you know. I want to be there at the end dead, and I can't help it because that's just what I am. I'm a passionate guy like that. So if I were to embrace that lifestyle, I would have failed. I know I would have failed because I'm too good at getting into things I shouldn't get into. So I was still having sex, thankfully. I was still occasionally drinking and hanging around with friends, but I wasn't doing all three copiously. And I'm not much of a drug guy either. I used to be very anti-drugs when I was younger, thanks to propaganda and ignorance, basically. And as I grow older, and I contemplated a bit more about, you know, the lies that were told and the science that contradicts said lies and the hypocrisy of the taxed drugs versus the non-taxed evil drugs. I'm a lot more curious about that stuff, but it's never been something that interested in me because a lot of people told me I should do it, and when you tell me I should do something, I want to not do it, and it kind of instilled a stubbornness in me. And it's an interesting question, but I think that should answer your stuff, dude. And I get what you mean. When you're at uni, you can play so much fucking video games, it's crazy. That's one of the best things about it. You do your work, gaming time. So huge congratulations on 25,000 subscribers, my friend. You deserve 10 times that number, but I'm sure you'll get there eventually. My question would be this. What movie are you looking forward to the most in 2016? Mine would be Suicide Squad. This one's from a regular. Right, so this is a really tough question for me because I haven't been excited about the cinema in a very long time. And I've got such a boring answer for it as well because I couldn't tell you a single film coming out this year. I couldn't. Like the next thing I'll be excited for is probably the next Arnie film, whatever it is, even though it will undoubtedly suck shit. And maybe like the new Chris Nolan movie, because every film that guy makes I really, really enjoy. So yeah, I wish I could give a better answer. Maybe some people in the comments can give theirs, because mine was sucky. Do you have any important tips for Bloodborne noobs? Love your videos. Important tips for Bloodborne noobs. Do not play it like a Souls game. You play it like a Souls game, you will die. Bloodborne is its own game. It merits aggression, but it has to be intelligent. You cannot be just vicarious insane. It doesn't work. It can work, but you need to know what you're doing, and if you're a noob, you're not there yet. So my advice would be, do not feel disheartened by dying. Do not fear death. There's no reason to. It's a learning process. Take it slow. Know your moves. Understand your enemies. Study them. And find something you enjoy. Find a weapon you like. Find a tactic you like. And try and work on that, implement that, and play. That's the best tip you can be ever given, just play. The more you play, the better you'll get. There's those two contradicting mindsets, isn't there, where, practice makes perfect, and then there's the other one where it's like perfect practice. But when it comes to this kind of thing, the more time you put in Bloodborne, the bigger rewards you'll reap, because it'll just start to make sense. And you'll not even see the transition, it just will happen, and you'll be a better player. So, hi, Sarah from 17, really appreciate your work and would like to know a few things about your creation process and personal life. Where are you from? You, sir, have a weird accent, laugh out loud. And what do you work with besides your YouTube channel content creation? I am from England, in a place near Sheffield. And what do you work with besides your YouTube channel content creation? What do I work with? Is that asking me what I do for work outside of YouTube, or is that what do I use as in like Premiere and effects? At the moment, if you are asking for employment, I'm putting everything into YouTube. I don't have anything external from that. I'm paying my bills with YouTube at the moment, trying to expand it into other areas. As far as what do I work with, like creation-y wise, After Effects, Premiere, Photoshop, nothing too extravagant. What do you think is the reason behind quality content YouTube channels like yours having lower subscriptions and views in comparisons to bad and junk content channels like people recording gameplay with farting and yelling nonsense things? It's a tricky question because I'm a minority here, you see. You say mine is quality, but there will be people who don't think it is. There'll be people who think what you think is bad and junk is quality, and it's all inherently down to opinion. It's down to what you like. On YouTube at this moment in time, the demographic for 10 to 15-year-olds is massive. I know this because my fucking nieces, nephews, and cousins are all over the place on this. Like, it's amazing what technology is giving to kids now, and it's opening doors for them. And there's a lot of them, and there's just going to be more of them, so if you can market towards that, you're laughing. And unfortunately, I can't. I've never been able to do that. I am adult, unfortunately. You know, I say bad things, I curse, I have strong opinions, and I'm for an echelon a little bit higher than your average demographic. Like for me, it's probably anywhere between late teens to any age can probably find something that they enjoy in my content. But that other stuff is what's popular because it's that mainstream thing. You know, it's very difficult to judge why something's popular, and it's very easy to not understand why. Why are the Kardashians popular? You know? It doesn't make sense to me. Why do we worship celebrities? Why do we care when someone has a sweat stain under their arm when they're climbing out of a car? Like, the things that we idolize and this constant need for idolatry with this bullshit is very strange to me. It's very strange in general. Like, it's strange to have people that support me for what I do. I can understand supporting the videos, but coming for the person is a whole extra step above what I ever expected this to be, so it's a weird thing, dude. But I would say this much: YouTube is incredibly crowded. There are millions of videos going up to it daily, probably. It's insane, and the way that the search engines work, it means that it propagates popularity to garner further popularity. You could have somebody who makes the best videos in the world. He creates a channel today, he never gets found. Unless he goes viral. And going viral is incredibly rare. Whereas you can have somebody who puts up a reaction video. You know, I mean, look at the fucking Fine brothers, seeing as how it's like hot shit. They had nice production values with some solid editing, but all they were doing was filming people watching shit. They were filming people watching stuff other people made. It's the easiest thing in the world, you know? And look how popular that is. And what have you done there except for having that thought and that insight to seize that opportunity? You've done fuck all. It's like these people that do unboxing videos when they were massive, you know. You've done the least amount of work to get the most amount of profit. And I'm not trying to undermine what those people have done, because as I mentioned, Fine Brothers, great production values, great editing, great effects, all that kind of stuff, very professional. But it's easy. And they will tell you themselves that it's easy. Because for the profit they get to the profit they spend, it's all 100% money. But they will always dominate the guy who's fucking amazing. And I've said this a long time ago, and somebody left a comment the other day like, "You're just butthurt because that's not how it works." And when somebody leaves a comment like that against me on someone else's channel, I generally don't entertain it and carry it on, because it just starts an argument I don't want anything to do with, because that person is unevolved and stupid and there's something wrong with their brain. But people don't go to YouTube to watch people better than them. They don't. Look at PewDiePie. Half that guy's comments are people feeling better about themselves because he sucks. And they're not even doing it maliciously, they're doing it because it's funny to watch somebody suck. It's a massive market. And just look at any video on YouTube, there's somebody there who's done it better than you. Every single video, it doesn't matter what it is. You can no damage fucking God. And somebody's done it before you, better than you, half health, whatever. Like, there's always somebody who's vocal about how much better they are than you, and that is what they're going for, and it's a massive market. which is why I personally believe you can have these crazy channels where people do amazing things, but nobody gives a fuck. Because they're not there for that. They'd rather watch a cat play a piano, or they'd rather watch PewDiePie on some fucking Flash game making sounds that don't even sound human, pulling silly faces, and somehow this is meant to be entertaining. I don't get it. I never will. But some people do, and that's what's important, you know? So when did you realise you could make a living from YouTube content creation? I can't. My living is scraps. I'm hoping I bounce into something more lucrative, but at the moment in time, it's tough. So you can't, and that would be my advice. Don't. Just don't. Way too much work, and there's a lot of people that are like, well, playing games is not work. It is, and it can be, trust me. Trust me on that. And that's coming from somebody who has worked. I'm not the guy who's never had a job. You know, it's making a living. You have to really, really whore the system, and you have to have a lot. Like, you have to have really established it, and even then you can't stop. You've got to constantly be evolving with things. And I think anybody who thinks getting into YouTube to make a living off it and only it is very foolish. You have to at least experience it for a little bit. It's very difficult to do, even at the higher end. What kind of equipment and software do you use to record and edit? Well, I highlighted a little bit of this earlier on. So I'm currently on a HD PVR2. I've used an Elgato HD60, but I hated it. I haven't used any internal capture cards, so I couldn't speak about those. I use Adobe Premiere. It's CS5. It's an older one, but it's the one I got for free when I was at uni. I use Adobe Photoshop, another CS5. I did have Adobe After Effects on my laptop, but my laptop's dead, so I can't get access to that. I use Audacity to record commentary, which I'm using right now. I use Bandicam to record stuff on my PC, like emulated games, and I'll probably use OBS when I start streaming, when I can get internet in my house, which I'm working towards, hopefully adding a second angle for my content, which I think will be really fun. And that's about it. I record with a Blue Snowball microphone, the one that's to my right now, and I have a pair of Astro A40s, I think, is which I listen to things with, and that's me done. In your hardest difficulty walkthroughs creation process, how many hours do you spend studying the enemy patterns, the environments, and how to dictate the best strategy for fellow players to approach a certain area or encounter? Is it just what worked for you, or do you try several different ways? It's mixed. It's always mixed. It all depends on how easy it is and how effective it is to exploit. So for a strategy that I would deem unsafe or luck-based, I will test that more than something that works every time. The majority of my strategies, I stumble into them. It'll be something I do on my practice run that works, and I'll try it again and it works, and then if it works, why change it? For the most, the strategies will get you through. There might be better strategies out there, but it wouldn't be mine if I made an entire project of other people's strategies. So even if some of them are lesser to some of the great ones you could find, they're the ones that I found. And I'm never usually somebody that tries to pioneer any kind of strategy. You'll notice a lot of people like to be first. A lot of people like to say they made it. I'm not that guy. I stumbled on it, it worked. If anyone else has done it, awesome. This is just the way it happened for me. And it all depends on the game. Games nowadays are so fucking easy that you don't really need to practice any of these things. It's only a certain difficulty spike where you have to apply yourself. Some of the earlier stuff I did, definitely you had to rerun it until you got it right, and some of them were really tricky and execution heavy, so you could have a great strategy, but it might take you an hour to land it, because everything had to line up, and it all depends on what you're playing, of course, so that can differ. You know, a walkthrough can be anywhere between an hour to 40 hours. It all depends on the game, you know. It really does. But thank you for the question. Hello Chris, Sarah from 17. I want to congratulate you on reaching 25k, nearing 26. I've been following your channel since you had 500 subscribers. Jesus. You were doing a walkthrough for Red Faction Armageddon. That's unfinished, that walkthrough. And Enslaved Odyssey to the West. That was a good one. I absolutely love the way you incorporate gameplay and commentary in your channel. I hope that one day you become a massive channel because you thoroughly deserve it, and even though to me and to your subscribers you already are a massive channel, I wish you the best in life, also hoping for you to achieve every goal you've set yourself on. Best wishes. Right. As for a question, if you had a chance to do over in life, what would you do differently? Very difficult, isn't it? At this moment in time, I haven't really made any choices that I regret enough to want to do them differently. But if I could keep and retain the knowledge I have now, that would be a massive thing. The one thing I would do differently, universally, is try not to be so afraid. I think fear it's such a singular thing inside of you at times that it can stop you making some of the better decisions. It can twist decisions you want to do. It can hold you back in a lot of ways, and it can control you too. And that's the worst. And I do think that if I could retain any of it, it would be just try not to be so afraid. I think that's a really strong lesson to learn, because when you're younger, it's so easy to have that anxiety when it comes to certain things, and it doesn't matter how confident or how gifted you are, fear doesn't care. It's such a powerful emotion, and I've had a lot of it in my shitty life, so that would be my assertion to my younger self. Hello Chris, I was wondering if you believed in using a facecam for YouTube, and what is your favourite game from 2015? So, I don't really want to use a facecam, because I don't really like my face. I'm not a guy who does photos, I'm not much of a hugger, you know, I'm one of those rare people who is just kind of cool not doing it. Like, I appreciate it's useful, I appreciate that it is a strategy that will make your channel get bigger, because they can personalise to a face way more than to a voice, but I started this on the principle that it would be about the game, not about me. And that's ignorant, and it's shifted a lot in that time, but it was never meant to be about my face, this entire thing. You know, I was meant to be anyone. I could be anyone, you know, that kind of sentiment. So, facecam's not something I really like, but there's always a chance that I'll do it, because I'm not averse to it, I just don't really like it. And my favourite game from 2015... that was really tough. Don't know, man. Maybe Bloodborne. Bloodborne was a really fun one for me. A lot of strong games released that year, though, so tricky to just pull that out my ass. Hi Chris, I found you through your Hitman Absolution guide when it released, and I've been watching since, and the quality of your videos never disappoints. You have great content and deserve way more attention. This is kind of a small question that you just made me curious. I recently went back to watch your Dark Souls 2 content again, and noticed you were singing the Miracles Don't Exist part of Circuit Theory by Stolas. Later on you sang Happiness is Hard to Find, and was curious if you were singing Tree Village by Dance Gavin Dance, which I was, indeed. So I'm assuming you like Stolas, Dance Gavin Dance, a lot like Birds, Hail the Sun, and possibly Amorosa, considering that they all have connections with each other, Blue Swan Records, and are all great bands with great musicianship, unique guitar work, technical drumming. I'm always curious about your music interests, because I find you referencing some great bands every so often that I'm into as well, such as Dillinger Escape Plan, Killer Be Killed, Catatonia, Stolas, so on and so forth. Anyways, congratulations, we all know you deserve more, and the empire grow. So, yes, I was, dude. I really like that kind of music. I don't really know what you would label it, but I went through a massive phase of... I got into Dance Gavin Dance by buying an album. I saw the cover, it was like a Death Star that somebody had drawn. I thought it looked awesome, like, oh, Dance Gavin Dance, dumb band name, I like it, let's pick this up. It was the self-titled, and it was a really good album. And then I got the next one, which was Happiness, and that was pretty much history. Obviously, they swap vocalists a lot. He was my favourite, though. Is his name? Is it Travis something? Travis is the one who was on those two albums. And then you've got Johnny Craig, who sang for Emarosa. I actually liked Emarosa's EP when they were on The Other Singer. I thought it was great. And then when Johnny Craig went in, I didn't like it, because his voice is very specific. I think he's fantastic in Dance Gavin Dance when they did the Downtown Battle Mountain 2. But I think he has a tendency to overdo it, because he's got a very unique sound where he kind of yodels and shit, and it's technically really good, but sometimes, like, just no. Stolas are awesome. New album was kind of weird, but I definitely dug it. A lot like Birds I don't like. Just didn't like that album at all. Not for me. Hail the Sun, absolutely adore Hail the Sun. Both Elephantitis and Is it Wake? I think the new album was. I can't remember. It's been a while since I was super listening to them. At the moment, I've been listening to the new Bloodhound Gang album, which is hilarious. I've been listening to a band called Latitudes, which is kind of eclectic as fuck, but it's got a really nice song. I've been listening to a band called Oranges, which is off their label, the Blue Swan Records, so that's pretty interesting. Not digging it as much as I was hoping, but it's interesting. And I've been listening to a band called Vox Vocis, but aside from that, nothing too much. But you were absolutely correct in what you're saying, dude. Happiness is hard to find, and miracles don't exist were both from what you thought they were. Yeah, spot on. Great songs as well. If you've not heard them, fantastic songs. Firstly, thanks for doing what you're doing. I have used quite a few over the years. Here are my questions. 7 questions, motherfucker. Again, is dollar worth, this guy. What does your partner think of you gaming as much as you do? Honestly, I don't know. My girlfriend is spot on. I say girlfriend because when you say partner, it makes me feel like you're gay, but you're not confident enough to say it because you think that it will have an adverse effect. Have you noticed that? When somebody says partner a lot, generally means they mean same sex rather than not. I spotted that when I was talking to a guy the other day. Strange, isn't it, to have that kind of hold up, because unfortunately societies are fucking full of assholes. But enough of that. She probably dislikes aspects of it, but for the most she's 100% supportive. And I don't do it that much when I'm near her or around her, and I make sure that she's always the focus. So I think it's all about perspective, and it's all about moderation and what you enjoy. The only time it pissed her off was when Resident Evil 5 dropped, and I warned her. I fucking warned her. She knows this. I said, me and a buddy are going to be playing this all day. Co-op over Xbox Live. And that's what we're going to do. And it's just that, the times are fucked up, but this is my plan. And she was actually, I think she skived school that day or whatever. And she got pissed off at me because we spent the entire day playing that game, even though I warned her beforehand. And I think she'd even admit that she was warned, so she was being, a little bit immature. But that was literally one instance out of, we've nearly been together 10 years, so she's a keeper. But she's completely supportive of it. And she would probably be one of the first people to tell me to stop if I had to. What has been the hardest game you have beaten, or what game has beaten you? Jet Force Gemini beat me when I was younger. I couldn't do Mizar, the final boss. I had a really tough time with the Ninja Gaiden 2 on Master Ninja when I first beat that. That game kicked my ass because it was so different to what I was used to. And even to this day, I don't think Ninja Gaiden 2 is a very fair game. I think the entire game's built on bullshit, which is why you've never seen me cover it. Because I had a lot of trouble when I did that my first time, and the more I played it, I did get better, and I did learn to understand it more, but it's still so much fucking bullshit that I can't excuse, and I've never been able to, which is why I always preferred the first one. God Hand is a game that fucks me up. That game kicks my ass, like, 100%. Hard mode on that game, so tough, dude. Really, really tough. Absolutely brutal. But I don't know as far as hardest, like, some of the older ones are ridiculous, but that's just because they were made to be ridiculous. It's easy to make a game bullshit and to make a game insanely hard. Just look at Capcom vs SNK Boss Syndrome. Oh, sorry, SNK Boss Syndrome. Bosses that cheat because the devs wanted them to be super hard to beat. That's, to me, I'm more interested in flawed than I am perfect, which is why I hate fighting game AI. It's fucking stupid. What's that? We read your input and beat it with the 2-frame input. There you go. On your no death scene, etc. playthrough, are they as they seem or edited to look like you don't fail? Always edited. There's not a single person on this planet that plays every video game perfectly all the time. Doesn't exist. Cannot be done. Always edited. If I do a no damage run, I will have been damaged a million times before I got the one that was right. It's just how it works. It's a product of persistence. When your partner won that completion, I think that means to be competition, what was the outcome? Did she get more jobs because of it? She did. She was the face of that makeup brand for the whole year, and she went on from there to get a bunch of free products and do a bunch of future photo shoots. And it was kind of cool. She was going to Leeds and to Lincoln and all kinds of places. I think she went to Manchester for one of them, so it was really cool. I was like, fucking get them to pay you, damn it. Start charging royalties, you know, fucking whore 'em for everything they're worth. But she, you know, she was very professional. She did what she could, and hopefully it'll lead to something awesome for her. Are you disappointed when you don't get views you clearly deserve? Yes, a million times yes, but that sense of entitlement is an illusion. I don't deserve shit. You've got to earn it. And I just haven't earned it. That's what you've got to look at it like, you know. I have no time for pity. I have no time for fucking whining and feeling sorry for myself. I'm the only person who can change my life for the better. And apparently I just fucking suck. What can I do? Try harder. Focus on that. Is your partner a gamer like you? My wife hates me gaming when she is around. That sucks, dude. She is a little bit, and she's always down for it, but she's not down for it when I ask her, if you know what I mean. Like, she likes to think of herself as gaming minded, but a lot of the times she's a little bit lazy. And we do play every so often. We used to play a lot more than we do now. I don't know what's changed there. But she's a gamer in her own right, and she doesn't mind me gaming when she's there. I just choose not really to do it, because we don't live together, you see, so it makes it a lot easier. But that sucks, dude. Hopefully your wife will mellow a little bit. Because if you like doing it and she loves you, shouldn't she support what you like doing? Is that just me? What games do you intend to do walkthroughs for in 2016? That's a tough question. There's a lot of stuff coming. I would recommend watching my projects that I'm going to cover up to April. If it's a new game, I'm probably going to cover it. If it's a Far Cry, I'm not fucking covering it. Hello, sir. My name is... I go by on YouTube with a... Yep. Thank you so much for the great content. I know you are, dude. I just don't want to say it just in case you don't want me to say it is all. Been following your channel since Dark Souls uploads, and thank you for making the time to answer questions. I have asked here and there on your videos. Without further ado, here are a few questions. We often see cross-title entries in comic books and comic book-related films, but rarely in video games. What two video game universes do you think could make for a compelling combination of characters in an intriguing story? To give an example, I always thought it would be cool to see Devil May Cry and Bayonetta somehow intersect. That would be cool. I think there's potential for this in a lot of ways, in a lot of different series. I also like what Street Fighter X or Cross Tekken did, because they were doing a version where Capcom made it, and then a version where the Tekken guys made it. And it's that notion of having different characters inside your mechanics, and I like that idea. Like, imagine a cross game like that with Devil May Cry and Ninja Gaiden, where Devil May Cry had a block, and a wind path, and UTs, and dismemberments, and OTs, and then you have, you know, fucking Ninja Gaiden with the stylish juggle, crazy-ass, style-based combos. It would be just so weird, but awesome and cool, and I think there's a potential for that in so many different ways. I think the closest you're seeing at the moment is with the Dynasty Warriors stuff, where it's like, Fist of the North Star, Dynasty Warriors, Gundam, Dynasty Warriors, Zelda, Dynasty Warriors. Like, that's as close as we're really getting with that, but I would like to see it. The Souls games, in which I grew up, Bloodborne, boast a huge variety of bosses across 4 titles, some amazing, some good, some subpar, and some outright bad. Taking all these bosses in aggregate, which would you choose for the 5 best and 5 shittest bosses in Souls history? Or universe, sorry. 5 best. Gwyn, Ornstein and Smo, King Alant, maybe Gerwin in that. Gerwin's a good one. I don't know. There's a lot of good ones. Shit ones. Better Chaos, bag of dicks. Fucking Rom, bag of dicks. Dark Souls 2 didn't really have any downright bad bosses, I don't think. Then again, I'm not so good on it these days. Demon Souls. I think Leechmonger's a fucking waste of time, and I don't like that fight. Just a bag of shit at bottom of room chucking slugs at you. That was a dumb one. Some stupid fights in Demon Souls. Some good ones though. Tough question. I'd have to really sit down and get all anal with that. But Better Chaos can suck a fucking dick. That's terrible. Absolutely terrible. Such a pointless enemy. I don't know. Like, my mind's blanking. Sorry, dude. The Witcher devs recently claimed that they strove to make Blood and Wine expansion even better than the main game, because it will truly be Geralt's final adventure in the video game world. The thought of that world coming to a close saddens me greatly, and I wonder, do you think we'll ever go back to The Witcher or perhaps Mass Effect Andromeda style? Relatedly, which games have you been most sad to see finalised, as in no more future content? I think they'll go back. You know why? Because just as fucking Sean Connery proved, they always go back. Always. You know? They're always going to go back. To me, none of them have saddened me, because they'll never stop them. And it's bullshit. Absolute bullshit. The closest I could say would probably be when Assassin's Creed took over for Prince of Persia. Because Prince of Persia, get this, might not be a popular opinion, but it's true, was better than fucking Assassin's Creed will ever be. Because it was a really, really good, solid game. And Assassin's Creed is just a massive pile of shit with everything stuck in it, and it's got every fucking thing under the sun, but it does none of it great. Whereas Prince of Persia did a few things, and it did them really well. So they stopped that series, and then they started milking the tits off of Assassin's Creed, which is a lesser game. And now, get this, they're going to do the same with Watch Dogs. Watch Dogs is now apparently going to replace Assassin's Creed, which could be great, because maybe they'll do something different, but my issue here is there's not enough I'm sad to see gone, because I keep fucking seeing them, and I'm sick to death of seeing them. Let Gears die. Let something new happen. You know, we don't need constant new things. Why do they just keep repeating and repeating and repeating, and it gets to the point where you don't even like what it was to begin with? Look at Ninja Gaiden. How many people are Ninja Gaiden fans anymore? He killed it. They absolutely killed it. And now they're pissing on the memories, and they'll just keep on pissing on the memories. There is times to stop, and devs just don't realise it, and they'll just do it and do it until... Look at COD. How many people couldn't care less now? COD now is literally in its twilight days, and it's still selling. So they'll still keep doing it, but everybody else is so fucking done. So done. Because it's like insanity. It just repeats. So it's a tough question, because I don't think they'll be done, dude. I think somebody else will come back, and somebody else will do it, because they always do. With better technology. How many cubic centigrams of his own farts do you think Tomonobu Itagaki gets high on daily? I have no idea what a cubic centigram is, but it sounds fascinating. Probably a lot. That guy is so up himself. He wears sunglasses inside and a leather jacket. That's pretty damn up. But the problem with that guy is he's got great ideas, but great ideas only work when you've got great people making them a reality. Take away the great people and you get Devil's Third. You know, great ideas, bag of shit execution. You need the ensemble, you can't have it alone. That's why Platinum got it right, because all the good guys went to Platinum. All the other ones stayed at Capcom and printed off the money, and the games got worse and worse. Hi Chris, just wanted to say thanks for the great videos. I have been a subscriber since your Hitman Absolution guide, which really helped me a lot. I have watched quite a few of your walkthroughs, as I love your style and really do enjoy hearing your views and opinions. Not really into RPG types of games, so I don't watch any of those. You should, dude. That's where all the best commentary is, trust me. Your Last of Us guide really helped me out. Of a couple of tight spots, I watched the whole walkthrough, even though I only got stuck in a couple of places. When are you going to do Uncharted 1 and 3? I have already completed them both on Brutal, but still looking forward to watching you play them. I'm currently watching Tomb Raider as you upload them. This game is on my wishlist, just waiting for the PS4 release. At the moment, I'm playing Alien Isolation. Damn, is this a scary game. So much tension. I would like to see you play this. Really hard to do a guide for, as the AI is completely random. Ouch. Thanks again. P.S. Don't you get paid by YouTube even when you don't have any adverts? I hope so. If not, then you really should add them. The ads you can skip after 5 seconds are no real hassle. I'm going to be covering Uncharted 3 for definite, but I have to finish beating it on Crushing to get Brutal. I'm at chapter 12 on Crushing, and then a bunch of games came out, so I haven't been back to it. And I really want to do it, because I was having a ton of fun, but Brutal should have been open from the start. If Brutal was open from the start, all 3 Uncharted would have been covered. But I am lazy when it comes to playing a game I don't want to play again on a difficulty I don't want to play. So I'm super unmotivated to do it, and that sucks, because it's a great game. YouTube does not pay me. YouTube pays me nothing. I get paid by my partnership. My partnership gives me money for the ads that are generated on the videos. If you don't see an ad, I'm getting nothing. Additionally, even if you do see an ad, there's a chance I might still get nothing. it fucking sucks. It truly does. You were right what you say though, dude. The ads where you can skip after 5 seconds are the best, and I make sure that when I do my monetization options, I always make sure that they're skippable, because there's a choice to not make them skippable. So you'd have to sit through the full fucking thing, and I would make more money guaranteed, but I don't want to do that because I hate ads. It sucks. If I could figure out a way to not have that and to generate revenue, I would, but it's just not viable at the moment. It's not really viable at all, but it's a work in progress, so I'm glad you appreciate the inconvenience of it, and thank you for watching, I guess. Hopefully that answered your question. Where would you move to if you ended up getting the chance to move? I don't really care, dude. Anywhere but here. Anywhere where the internet's good. Like, all I need is good internet at the moment, and then I can have 2 separate entities working together, complementing each other, streaming every day, just building and building and building, able to really, really put in the time and build the empire to what it deserves to be. But I'll live anywhere. Wherever there's internet, I can live. You know, I'm really easy when it comes to that. I don't have any attachments to where I live. Of course, I love my family and that, but when I move away, it's a great motivation to finish learning to drive, get a car, and visit them. You know, there's no pressure for me there. No fear either. A few questions. What made you start making YouTube videos? Something I really wanted to do, dude. I thought I could do it, so I did. What is your favourite game of all time? I literally can't answer that. The Ocarina of Time, I don't know. Do you take friend requests on Xbox Live? I did until I got 100, and then I stopped. My problem with that is simple. My friends list is now a stranger list, and I don't mean this to disrespect anybody, but I don't know any of you. That's the thing that sucks. I wish I did, but I don't. And to me, it's so... It sucks, it really does. Hello Chris, why do you never appear online? It's bloody frustrating when I realise we are playing or own the same game and I'm looking to play it with you and you never seem to play, then oh here, a guide for said game. Stop it, show online, let's play a game. Sideways smiley face. I'm innocent here, dude. I'm not appearing offline. I'm offline. All the games I have at the moment need about 1.5 GB to update, so I can never play them online because I have to do it and it'd take all fucking day to do it on my crap internet. So I just sign out of online and I play them that way. And it's annoying, and I wish I could, dude, but I had a lot of different things all the time. Like Black Ops now, 5 gig. Fucking Halo, 5 gig. Like this, 5 gig, 10 gig. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. So it's not intentional, and I would love to play, but it's just awkward timing is all, brother. Awkward timing. Who inspires you as a person and or creator? Your videos and commentary incite thought-provoking themes and make me laugh. So I'm curious on what does the same for you. Also, congrats on 25k subs. You deserve it. Everything. Everything inspires me. Music, film, anything. I like philosophy. I like metaphysics. I like people who think differently. That's the stuff that gets me off. Like, when I was younger, I had massive binges on people like George Carlin and Bill Hicks and Alan Davis and all that kind of stuff. Just like listening to old seminars of Bertrand Russell, you know, just straight up talking about look only and solely at what are the facts, not what you want to believe. Like, just people that want to understand the world and cut through the bullshit. That's the stuff that inspires me. People that ask those questions that others don't, you know. Anything that quells ignorance and pursues enlightenment is something that fascinates me, because I like the notion of bettering yourself, and I like the notion of bettering as a race. So I am literally inspired by everything, the things I see, the things I read, you know. I believe that we are, as a species, good. I just think we get mired in the bullshit, and they only promote the bad. So as much as I am kind of misanthropic and nihilistic, I also have, you know, a silver lining of, well, what if we did achieve this? So I think inspiration comes in many shapes, but music's a strong one for me. Films. On YouTube, nobody really inspires me to create things, but there's a lot of people I watch and I see them doing cool stuff and I wish them the best. But no one in specific that I can really point out to, like, that guy has definitely been... I mean, I could use, you know, Beer Baron as, like, an inspiration for the formula of what I do, because he was the first person I saw doing it. You know, he was the pioneer of it. But now, that guy's not what he was, and he's doing different things, and some of it's really not to my taste, so it's, you know, the world moves on, it keeps spinning, and everybody gets older. Congrats on 25k. I've been following you since Unreal Engine, no, Uncharted 2 Crushing. No, you haven't. Not been made. Uncharted 3 Crushing, that's the one. Will you cover Mirror's Edge 2? Yes. What is your facial hair, and is it in your ideal state? My facial hair at the moment is kind of full beard, but I can't grow a beard, so it's just homeless and patchy and ashamed of itself. You often talk about how you sit for recording, playing or commentary sessions for upwards of 5 to 7 hours at a time. It truly is comparable to a full-time job the way you do it. Does it have adverse effects on your day-to-day life? Not so much, not really. I try to do as much as I can in the time that I'm afforded, and if I do have something, you know, in my day-to-day life that's more important, I do that. I'm comfortable at the moment with priorities and responsibilities where I can do this. You know, if I wasn't, I wouldn't do it. And if there is anything more important, I do that. But as it stands, because I do treat it as a job, even though, you know, I love it, I think you have to get the results I'm looking for, and failing to get, I think you have to have a drive, and without a drive, it's too cavalier and up in the air and Machiavellian for me. So when I do 7 hours in a session, and afterwards, you know, I feel like it's been kicked out of me. I feel like I've done what I'm supposed to do. Like, you know, when you do a good workout, and afterwards you know you've done a good workout, it's kind of like that. And it's that validation of, we kicked that ass. I feel good about that, and I can't wait to share it, and hopefully it helps. Do you ever play a game that you hate but carry on to get content walkthroughs up? If so, which did you hate doing the most? I do, but it's hard. I always try to have credibility in what I put out, and my credibility is essentially honesty. I'm not much of a liar. I can lie because I'm a talker, and talkers can lie. And I can also put on a straight face and lie. But I don't like doing it because I don't think it makes you feel good, and I don't think it does good things. So for me, honesty is a big thing. Honesty to a fault. I've always been that way. There's probably something psychologically wrong with me. Maybe a bit of brain damage. But I'm an honest person. And when I'm playing a game I don't like, it's hard to commentate it because the only thing that's going through my mind is how much I don't like it. And I try to veer away from it and highlight good things, talk about other things, but it always comes back to not liking it. One of the first that I recognised being difficult was The Force Unleashed 2, the Star Wars game. That is one of the worst sequels I've ever played, because the first one I liked so much. It's so fucking bad. I had to put the TV on in the background to get inspiration from the adverts of something to talk about, because I was so null and void towards that game. I just couldn't care. And it was really tough. Next one was Resident Evil 6. And Brink. Fucking Brink. Exhausting walkthroughs to commentate because it's such a shit game. Resident Evil 6. Fucking hated it. Hated it so bad I wanted to delete it. Just couldn't do it. Absolutely abhorred it. Darksiders 2 went that way. Started off really positive. By the end of it, I never wanted to see that game again. Just absolutely took it out of me. I'm not a person who can do something and sell something that's not real. I just can't do that. I wish I could. That's how you win on YouTube, but I can't. And if I don't like it, I'm going to tell you. And a lot of people don't like that.